Hello, D.
How you
I'm fine. So, D. D is a very short name. What's your real name?
Deon?
Deon. Nice to meet you, Deon.
A pleasure.
So, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to the audience?
Perfect. Well, my name is Deon. Last name is Whitter. I go by D Witt for modeling, of course. I've been modeling for 7 years. This April made 7 years officially. And I sort of, it was something that I wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. I always thought I couldn't do it because I wasn't so, big or so skinny or so tall. And just one day I said, the heck with it. Why not just at least give it a try and see what happens? And I think my first photo shoot 7 years ago, I actually it was like a fire was ignited under my feet, and I wanted to like do it over and over. It was like going on a roller coaster. So at that point, I was older. I was in like my late 30s, and I kept thinking, people kept saying, "Oh, you're too old. You sure you want to do this? Your shelf life may be, kind of short." I'm like, I really don't care what people say or what people think. The passion it was so much in me that I didn't want to turn around. I didn't want to stop doing it. So I just did it. And ever since then, it sort of like just took off. I've had some amazing photo shoots with some amazing people. I've met some amazing people. I've experienced some amazing things. And it's just been so rewarding and refreshing, especially a guy at my age. I'm 44 years old. I just turned 44 this past February, and I think I'm getting better and better the older I get. Ironically,
Yes,
I work out like crazy.
that's what men do. They get better when they age.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
so
Well, that's what they say.
I think you already answered half of my question now. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, well, my first question was how did you get into modeling? But you explained it already a little bit. But maybe you would like to add something. Was there a
Sure.
special wow moment that you said, now I get into modeling?
Definitely. It was someone that I knew had was coming out with a tattoo magazine, and they, I have about five tattoos on my body, and at that point I had four, three or four, and then they wanted me to be in a tattoo magazine, and I'm like, sure, why not? And we had our photo shoot in Manhattan, right under the train station, and it was a famous area where they filmed one of the Spider-Man movies, and just being outside in the street and being photographed by a photographer, just it was just something like in my stomach. I'm like, I don't want to stop doing this. Like I want to continue doing this. Like I just don't want to do this just for this one magazine. I want to continue and just see what happens. And from there, it was nerve wracking because I didn't know how I should break into it. Like what should I do first? Sometimes asking people to help you is not always the best, because not everyone either has your best interest at heart, or not everyone is willing to be nice enough to go and show you the ropes. So basically, I learned everything on my own. I did all my own research. I found out, how to put a website together, how to put myself out there via social media, how to create profiles and stuff like that. And once I did that, I just submitted my pictures to a regular profile modeling site, and it was just regular Polaroids. And from there, photographers were hitting me up, telling me they wanted to do a test shoot with me. And then from there, the rest is history. I think the best thing that worked for me was basically staying in contact with people. Every time I left a photo shoot, I would always, call the photographer back and give them my, regards and say thank you so much. I loved working with you, and hopefully in the future we get to work together again. Just to build that great rapport. And from there, I was, they would have a casting and they would call me. I didn't have to go out for castings. They would call me, which was great because they said I was very personable and I was very nice. And I'm like, wow, shouldn't people already be nice? But I guess in this industry, it doesn't happen like that always. And from there, the rest is history.
Yes, and of course, networking is the most important thing. But what are you doing if you're not modeling?
I actually work with kids. I run youth programs, and that's how actually connected with Ricardo Munoz for Chulo Underwear. I run after school programs, so I run a community center for middle school kids, which they age preteens, so they're about 11 to about 14 years old. And I had a photo shoot with Ricardo. I want to say maybe over a year ago, and he wanted to take me out of my comfort level. He wanted to do something with me that was completely different. I was always used to showing body and stuff like that, and he wanted to take me out of that comfort zone and have me do things more natural. I was always used to posing and modeling and giving angles, and he just wanted me just to be natural. So then, in shooting with him, which was absolutely phenomenal, when he was telling me about his organization, what he does, it was definitely synonymous with what I do. And from there, we just merged. I became a brand ambassador for his underwear, Chilo underwear. So it's sort of like help market his underwear for him as well as me receiving underwear, which is excellent. But I love the fact that the proceeds go back to disadvantaged, marginalized youth, and it's the same thing that I do in terms of like my sphere, in terms of my career outside of modeling. I love helping people out. I love helping kids. I love giving kids a different outlet. I love showing people that if I can do this at whatever age, then you can do it regardless of how old you are. And I've been running programs for over 13 years, and again, modeling for 7. I've been a personal trainer for a few years back, way back in the days. Fitness is my life, so that's another part of my thing outside of modeling. I got to stay in shape, of course. So I'm at the gym sometimes twice a day. I try to live a healthy lifestyle, try to live stress-free, and everything comes full circle.
Sounds not very stress-free. I was wondering, when do you sleep?
Ironically, I get enough sleep. I think sleep is very important. People don't get enough sleep. But I try to embed that into my lifestyle as well. From work, personal life to gym and into modeling. It's a lot. To the naked eye, it's a lot. But I've been doing it for such a long time. It becomes second nature to me. So it's a part of my lifestyle. So to me, it's nothing. Like, I just know this is what I do. When I have a gig coming up or a casting or a photo shoot, I try to embed everything and fit everything perfectly into my lifestyle. I think getting into this later on in life benefited me because I'm in more control of it. I don't have someone telling me when I should do it, how I should do it, and what I should do with it. I'm basically controlling it myself. So if it can't fit into my schedule, then it can't fit into my schedule. So I try to put everything into my schedule that actually works.
Yes. What was the strangest thing you've ever done on set? In 7 years, there must be something.
There's always something, right?
Yes.
The strangest thing, I think one of the strangest things that I had to do was basically change in public. And I think that was pretty hard to do, especially in the streets of New York City, when you have so many cars coming by and people coming by, and I'm in barely like skimpy underwear, and I have to change to the next, wardrobe, and there's no bathroom around for me to change, and there's so many people walking by. You have police officers, you have everyone, and to me, doing that at first it was very nerve-wracking because it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I can't do this, but then I couldn't turn down the job, and I just had it's like going on a roller coaster, just doing it. And once I did it once, it was like, it's nothing. Another time was when I actually did Gay Pride. I actually did Gay Pride twice. The last time I did it was last year for Trojan Condoms. I was actually booked to be one of their Trojan warriors on their float, which was an amazing experience. The first time I did it, it was for a reality show in New York City, and the show was called Glam Fairy. So they wanted 10 muscle models to walk, on their float. So I figured this is great. It'll be televised. It'll be a lot of publicity. This will be awesome. Not realizing what I had to wear. So I had to wear these pink, very, very skimpy, short boy shorts. And on the back of it, it had Glam Fairy on it. I had to wear fairy wings and a ton of makeup on my face. So for me, that was definitely unconventional. There was something that it was not in my comfort level, but it was so cool and so rewarding and just so much fun. But at first it was very nerve-wracking when I saw the outfit that I had to wear in front of millions of people. It was like, oh my gosh.
Do you have pictures?
Huh?
Do you have pictures?
I think I have some. I should still have pictures.
Yeah, you
somewhere
should send
in
one
my
so
archive.
I can add it to the video.
Oh, definitely so. Definitely so.
And for the other thing, always bring a big towel so you can change and have a towel around
Right.
your
And what?
hips.
Yeah, that's good advice because what I used to do was bring a smaller towel, and I realized smaller towels don't work.
Not really. Do you have any casting survival tips?
Yes. If you're nervous about doing it initially, don't. I think everyone should go at their comfort level. I've been on many castings in which I had the butterflies in my stomach, and then I got so nervous, and once I got to the casting, I bombed. I had every package. I had the face, I had the body, I had everything that the producers and the casting directors wanted. But once I got there, because of my nerves, I just bombed it, and I didn't get the casting. And I always should say, go with your gut instinct. If you're not feeling comfortable with it, then don't do it. Don't let anyone pressure you to do something that you're not comfortable in doing. I stand by everything that I've done in terms of my modeling career thus far, and will stand by anything that I will continue to do because now I'm at a point where in which I'm comfortable in everything that I do. If I don't want to, if I feel like I don't want to do something, then I'm not going to do it. I've been to castings before in the past in which I was very uncomfortable because I felt like, oh, this one looks better than me. I'm not going to get it. I'm not as big as he is, or whatever the situation is, and that doubt in my head made me not get booked. Now I go on to things when, but something, he may be bigger than me, he may be cuter than me, or maybe more attractive than me, but whatever. So is that person and that person and that person. I have to not worry about anyone else and worry about myself and think that I'm the most handsomest person in the room, the biggest person in the room, and have that ego going into it. But just sort of like, keep it at a balance. So my advice would be do everything with confidence,
Okay.
if possible.
Sure. Let's talk about your private personal style. What do you
Okay.
like to wear when you're private? Do you have prepared
Right.
some favorite items maybe?
Yeah, I have. I'm gonna show you some of this. Hold on one second.
Yes.
These jeans right here have to be my favorite.
Yes. Nice. And so up to
Um,
date right now.
yes, they're fitted and they have cuts in it. So I think fitted jeans are important. I'm a bigger dude, so sometimes fitted jeans um, don't do well on me because I have big legs or big calves. But try to find a size that actually works for you and try to stay up on trend. Anything that's fitted to my upper body, I love wearing like fitted tank tops, fitted shirts.
I'm not
It's
surprised.
sometimes it's hard for me because I am my body size is different. I'm not a conventional particular size. I have a big chest, but I have a smaller waist. So a lot of designers really don't cater to people like that. Nowadays, you have more designers that are looking more into that because there are a lot of guys who are built like me, who are around 5'8", 5'9", who are broad shoulders, broad back, broad chest, but smaller waist. So now they're trying to, and that's becoming the norm, ironically. So now you're trying to find, you have more designers now that are catering to that. So anything that's fitted, I love nylon shirts. Anything that are loose, the stretch fit shirts are phenomenal. So that's pretty much my personal style. I love wearing boots, sneakers, um, anything that is pretty much form fitting, but not ultra form fitting, but
Okay.
something that can show your body, but not overtly like show everything.
Well,
You gotta leave some things to the imagination.
yeah, I guess the Paris collections are not made for you because the models in
Not it.
Paris are skinny
Yes.
like maybe
Not at all.
your
It's definitely
finger.
not.
So do you have a favorite brands maybe?
The favorite brand of clothing, I definitely love Ink. They sell it at it's called INC. It's called International Concepts. That would be one of my favorite brands because the clothes just fit me perfectly. I love Guess. Guess is great. Of course, Armani is awesome. But Guess and Armani and Ink, they basically have clothes that are tailored for like my body structure. Ironically, um, my shirts I buy small. um, and some people look at me, they're like, "Oh, but wouldn't you be a large?" I'm like, ironically, you would assume that I would be a large just because I'm a little bulky, but I'm not. Like I would have to fit something that's a little more, how can I say it, conducive to like my waist. So sometimes a large may fit me big up top, but bulky on the bottom. So I would have to get like a small size.
Who was the
But I would
person
say
in the
Guess,
background?
Armani. Oh. come in. No, no. This is my husband.
Hello. Hello, husband.
We've been married for 5 years. We just made 5 years this past April and been together for 18.
Okay, perfect. I just saw somebody walking and I was curious. So,
Like,
do you have a grooming regime? And I'm a little
yes.
bit scared to ask some workout tips because make it short. Because I'm sure you have millions
Yes,
of
definitely. Um, um, oh yes, yes. I'll keep it short with that. My grooming regimen, basically, I have this. My husband had bought me this great shaver. It's made by Wahl, Wahl, and it's a body groomer. So it's basically I just trim my hair. Like I'm not a hairy person anyway by nature, but it just keeps me smooth. And I do that, and I use a lot of coconut oil. Coconut oil is essential for the body. It's essential to eat as well, but for my body, it works wonders. In terms and I always wash my face before I go to sleep and brush my teeth. That's important too. In terms of workout regimen, the best thing, I used to be a very heavy set kid growing up. So for me to stay lean, it's kind of tough. It's a challenge. So the best thing for me advice to give is cardio. Cardio is extremely essential, extremely important. But to mix cardio with supersets, which means if you're going to go to the gym and lift weights, every time you finish one routine, you're jumping right into the next routine, like simultaneously right afterwards. So you're not giving your body any rest time until that full set is finished. I've learned that kept my body toned. I do a lot of calisthenics, meaning push-ups, pull-ups, dips, anything that I'm using my own body weight that keeps my tone so much better. What gives me the muscle mass is me eating and just me lifting heavy.
Thank you. Perfect. So you are in New York City, right?
Yes.
So, but where are your roots?
I was born and bred in the Bronx, New York. My family's all from New York City, but my roots are Jamaican and Irish.
Okay, so you can choose Jamaica or the Bronx. I want to know one funny cliche about people from Jamaica or the Bronx, which is actually true. Can you name us one or two funny cliches?
Funny cliche. I will give you people from the Bronx are very, how can I say it? Aggressive in a good way. We're very no nonsense. People from the Bronx don't take no BS. So we
You
have
can
something to
say
say.
bullshit.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to be politically correct. No,
No, this
people from
is
the Bronx.
this is from Germany, so you can swear, you can say bullshit, you can say
Oh, I love
fuck.
them. I gotta go there. Yeah. People from the Bronx don't take no bullshit at all. If they have that no hair on the tongue type of mentality. Um, so if there's something that's on someone's mind, they definitely would say what's on their mind easily. I've been to Jamaica one time, and my experience there was pretty much the same. People there are very much no hair on their tongue either. They definitely speak their mind as well. I would say both places is very tight knit. People are very close knit with each other, so that whole family centered type of theme goes in Jamaica, and the same thing goes in the Bronx.
Okay. So the last question is, do you have any special talents?
I used to have better special talents, but one of my biggest talents growing up, I used to play the drums. I actually have a drum set that I had gotten when I turned 30 years old. I always wanted a drum set. My parents would never buy me one because they said that I would make too much noise. And when I turned 30, I was asked, what's one thing that you always wanted that you never got? I said a drum set, and I got my drum set. It's royal blue and silver. I don't play it at all. I clean it every 10 seconds. I had it for 14 years, and it just sits there. So when people come over to my house and they see it, they're like, "Oh, can I play it?" I'm like, "No, it's just for looks. You can't touch it at all." So, but I used to be a drum instructor for about 5 years, and I played in a marching band. So I would say that's my biggest special talent that I sort of keep hidden. Not too many people know about that, because if I do tell them, they won't believe me. And then they ask me to play and they want to put me on spot. And then when I'm put on spot, I can't perform as well as I get nervous. So there you go.
So, can you play us something, please?
See, you put me on the spot. I'll get nervous again.
No, you don't have to, because I'm sure it's not ready now and you have to fix the camera again, and we do it next
Yes,
time. So be
definitely,
prepared.
definitely.
Do you have a
Yeah,
special
I'm
song,
ready.
a favorite song you like to?
I have something in my head that I used to play back when I was younger, and I have my sticks. I have everything.
Okay, so
Now, whether it'll sound good, that's debatable. But
well, we will see next time.
definitely.
Yeah, thank you very much. So.